Okay, welcome back to the show. Okay, do you want to start?
Okay.
Klee?
So, if you remember, last week, Mary had these nice numbers that she self-diagnosed for her own pain, and so her normal daily life would basically be a pain level fluctuating between 3 and 5 without exacerbating it, 3 to 5 on a scale of 0 to 10. And then if she did a certain yoga move, which we showed you guys in the video, then she could jack up the pain easily to a 10. And it starts racing kind of like at a 5 and then just goes up to a 10 if she holds the pose, the yoga pose. So anyway, then last session we were able to reduce the normal pain without the yoga pose to 0, and we were able to reduce the yoga pose pain to 0. And then she went home, and 3 hours later she started having the pain again. And then she ended up sleeping 13 hours that night. And then the next day she slept that next night again, like this unusual amount of time, like she was rebuilding or something. And then on the third day, everything sort of changed, and her daily pain level went from this floating average that floated between 3 and 5 throughout the day to the whole days up until today of floating between 1 and 3.
1 and 2.
1 and 2, I'm sorry. So floating between 1 and 2. So kind of like the pain level was cut in half from 3 to 5 to between 1 and 2. So that was good. So then today, when we were working, I focused I felt more confident, obviously, because we've been trained more. But worked on that side. I felt
We had a...
Oh, yeah, thank you. So her feet were between a 1/2 inch and 3/4 of an inch off in the sitting position. And then we got it down to just alignment, full alignment. The first time, almost, and then worked on her some more, and then it went back into full alignment. And then started working on the side. Her problem is on her right side, so it's this sort of hip pain thing. So we worked on that a lot, and then, as I said, well, then she got up and she couldn't reproduce the pain, just like before, like last week when she stood up. Then we had her lay down and do this difficult yoga pose. I could not even come close to doing that pose. Pigeon pose, and she just flops over like a piece of paper and just is laying there on the floor with her leg just extended back. And that's the one that guaranteed could always before give her a full escalation up towards...
I couldn't even do it.
Couldn't even do it, right? So she just laid there today, and I'm like, hello, Mary, I'm here. And she's just like dumbfounded that she could just lay there and can't reproduce the pain. So what her and I have done is switched information, or given, she's going to email me and let me know what happens this cycle, because there was that rebuilding thing, this strange thing where she slept and then it got better. So we're hoping now that that now we can get it to hover between 0 and 0, just kind of right in that range.
Super!
So it's one more thing. So then when she was on the table, she didn't tell me at the time that she was on the table, but when her and I sat down afterwards, she said, Klee, there's something funny during the session when you were working on my right side, the first time that, and this is where you should maybe explain what came up for you, and then we'll tell them about what we did.
Okay. So I didn't feel, usually I can feel energy and all that, but I didn't feel any of that. It just got better, and it got better fast. But the thing that came up on the first session when I was laying there is the name of someone who 5 years ago I cut out of my life. I said, okay, done. And what came up for me was just a thought. It didn't have emotion, it just was a thought. And the thought was, okay, you need to forgive this person. And of course, immediately when I say that, my heart goes, no, you need to forgive yourself, you know. So that came for me during the first session, and I didn't tell you.
Yeah.
And I did it, you know, and I cleared it.
So I took that as a synchronicity for myself to suggest to Mary that we do the sky. So, because we were finished at that point with our physical work, so we went over here and sat down and we did the sky, and yeah, I just told her it was like I'm going to create a black hole kind of thing, and we're just going to send that in. And I did the questions, and then asked her to try to reproduce the hurt and anger that she was able to reproduce, and she could not reproduce. We kept doing it until she could not reproduce that that sensation, that feeling. So, what did that feel like? What was that like?
Oh, it's liberating, obviously, you know, when you're not tied into something that's holding on to you and that you're